What's up, you guys? It's Ashlinsky, and I'm playing a game on Itch.io today. Directly in my browser, I simply full screened it, just because it looked a little long. It's called You're Going to Be Fine. It's a text adventure, twine game, whatever you call it, by Mogi Bear. And I said something about fairy tales and the woods and running, and I was interested, so let's just go right in and start running. Branches whip past your face as your feet pound the dirt. You're going to be fine. Push air out of your lungs, every breath burning and exhausting, your throat aching and itching. You're going to be fine. You sweat under the oppressive damp heat of the forest. You're going to be fine. You chant this to yourself in time with your desperate run. Breathe in. You're going to be fine. She's right behind you. But you're going to be fine. She's not going to catch up with you. Nobody runs as fast as you. Nobody. But the sound of footsteps behind you hasn't gotten any softer or slower since you abandoned the tame lawn of her castle for this desperate run. You're going to be fine, but you'll admit that so far she's keeping pace with you. It doesn't matter. Soon you'll be out of those infernal woods and out of her territory, into your own. You'll lose her then, even if you don't manage to before then. You're going to be fine. You run like the wind. You chant under your breath, repeating your father's good luck charm. You're going to be fine. She won't catch you. You can outrun anybody. You can. You know you can. You have. You can outsteal, outfight, outrun anybody. But maybe not anything. I'm going to click chant. Breathe in. You're going. Breathe out. To be fine. You run like the wind. Okay, so it's this again. So now I have to click, but maybe not anything. You almost trip over a tree root, as if your brain cringed so hard from that thought that your body followed its lead. Stop thinking. Stop thinking. How the fuck can you run fast enough when you're thinking so loud? You need to run. You need to escape. You need to run. You run. Breathe in. You're going to be fine. Breathe out. Your mind is empty and clear. The ache in your chest is cleared. And your chest rises and falls in time with the pounding of your feet and your pulse and the words circling your head. You trip. Fuck! Where'd that blasted root come from? You're on your knees in the warm mud, your palms flat against soft fallen leaves and an ocean of biting insects. Within an instant, you're on your feet again, but all the aches and pains that had eased when you were in the quiet place inside your head have returned. You wheeze softly, your hands pressed against your thighs. You need a moment, just one moment, and then you'll continue. You'll be fine. I'm going to click place. When you run, you find a place inside your head where everything else falls away, where all the world is quiet, empty but for the ground under your feet. You've always been able to find that place, always, since you were a child. It made you a great runner. It made your father love you. Okay. You'll be fine. You lift one hand and check the bulge in your throat with one hesitant finger. It comes away wet with more than just mud. You're not sure when you begin to bleed. You don't have time to think about it, but memories slam into you like a train, leaving you breathless and freshly aghast. Your old wounds aching with the new ones still bleeding. The words your father whispered to you, the very last time you saw him, cloak torn and eyes wild. Your final night in her bedroom, the glow under the door, the silent way you slipped out from between the sheets, trying not to wake her. The way your throat tore as you swallowed your prize. The look in her eyes as salvation was lost to her forever. You're thrown from your memories as you notice a sound you don't understand. Silence. Silence. You can't hear a thing. You strain your ears for the softest footfall, but there's nothing. There isn't even any birdsong, but that's hardly unusual for this forest. Has she stopped chasing you at last? Have you escaped? Your lip is raw and bloody under your teeth as you refuse to breathe, as you refuse to dare to hope. She's in the forest. You know she is. She always is. But where? Creak. Something at your feet makes strange but familiar noise. An old castle in the dark of night. Do I ignore it or do I look down? Do I ignore it or do I look down? Ignore it! I'm ignoring it! Your gritted teeth do nothing to disguise the sob that breaks from your throat. You're strong, but this is something you're not cut out for. Nobody is. You know exactly what is at your feet, and you can't look down. If you look down, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So you look down. You can't help yourself. You knew you were too graceful to trip by accident. The tree root is moving. It's sluggish, but even if it hadn't given the game away by tripping you, you'd know from long experience that it's just an act. Of course, things are slow to react for the first few moments of the unholy life she breathes into them, but this is inside the forest. This tree has been alive for centuries, perhaps even longer. You stare down at the tree root as it twines slowly, seductively. Before you came to her forest, you never knew how beautiful nature could be, how strange and alien, yet so familiar. There is something about the way that it moves that transfixes you. You're going to be fine. The words run through your head slowly and softly, a whispered lullaby in a familiar, lilting voice. To be fair, she could hardly have known the significance of those words. The words snap you out of your hypnotized state, and you blink at the tree root, startled. It's closer than it was only moments ago. Moments or minutes. You have no idea how long you spent under the sway of the plant. You have no idea how close she is. Apart from the soft rustle of the root snaking its way across the leaves to you, you can't hear a thing. You know she likes the quiet, but it's time for her woods to become noisy again. Run. You take off, giving your abused body a few precious moments to get used to the already punishing pace before speeding up. You don't have time to coddle yourself. Your father is waiting. She's close behind. You know that she is, but he's waiting for you, and you are going to be fine. You swore to your father that you would be. You swore to yourself. You're going to be fine. You run. You realize the footsteps have begun anew, closer than before, or farther away. The snow muffles sound confusing you. But when did it start to snow? You brush the thought away, impatient. It had been snowing for as long as you can remember. The winter has been long. The winter has been long, and your father is waiting for you, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, but she's behind you, with every living thing in the forest against you, every tree, every plant, every flower. Every flower but one. Even now, it pricks through your skin, a ruby droplet easing down your throat with every breath. She is behind you. She is somewhere in the depths of the woods behind you, and your chest aches to know that you're leaving her behind, and this desperate sorrow in your heart tells you to stop, and maybe she'll forgive you if you turn back now, if you promise to never leave her again. Promise your eternal love and loyalty on bended knee, and she's inside you. You stagger to a halt, the words racing through you like thunder, breath rattling through the maze of thorns in your throat. You aren't as immune as you thought. You are almost more plant than girl, and her thoughts are inside you, growing alongside you and the rose. They are both inside you to the bone, and there's no cutting them out, not now. Not that you would remove the rose, even if you could. Yes, it's the conduit letting her mind leach into your body, but it's also your last and only chance at survival. Your father is waiting for you and the rose. And your sisters? Your sisters are waiting. They want you to return, regardless of what you want. And your father wants that rose that doesn't even belong to him. You're nothing like your father or your sisters. You know that. She taught you that. It is snowing, and your sisters are so jealous of you. It's cold, and you miss her warmth, the way she wanted to protect you. It's cold, and you're going to be fine. All right, we're clicking sisters first. You have sisters. 2 of them, she said. They love dresses and jewels, and are very beautiful. Far more beautiful than you, with sharp little minds to match their sharp little eyes. You have 2 sisters, and they are waiting for your return. You shake your head to dislodge her thoughts and spit blood on the snow. How have you had the time to bleed this much? The blood has not even begun to ooze through your skin when you left the castle, and you've only been running for... You have no idea how long you've been running for. And for the first time, you realize you have no idea if you're even running in the right direction. But every force ends in every direction eventually, and she's still trying to infect you with her thoughts. She's still chasing you. You can outrun anyone in the world, and you are going to be fine. Oh, and this is a poem by Robert Frost. I remembered this poem. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. Here's the credits. Cool. Okay. So that was You're Going to Be Fine. It was kind of spooky. I mean, it's not obviously a horror game, but it was kind of spooky. I thought at first it was going to be a Beauty and the Beast thing, but it kind of turned into something else. I don't know. It's up for interpretation, obviously. I mean, anybody can play it. This is an itch.io game, right in your browser, and someone might get something else out of it. I don't know. It was very interesting. I enjoyed it. I will put the link in the description if you'd like to play it for yourself. Yeah, and as usual, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and make new content almost every single day. You don't want to miss it. And I'll see you in the next one.